O'Fallon is a city with tradition and vision, and that means that we're always working on improving our community, while never losing track of the heritage that's made us who we are today. On this segment of O'Fallon Matters, we'll reflect upon that heritage as we honor Black History Month. Did you know that in 1976, President Gerald Ford officially recognized Black History Month? OFallonTV recently had the opportunity to interview former O'Fallon resident Mary Stephenson. We asked her what it was like to grow up in O'Fallon and the surrounding area during the 1930s and 40s. Now, here's Mary's story of determination and perseverance during segregation.
My parents was Dorothy Edwards, and we lived on the Dyer farm out near St. Paul. And I was born in the house I went to school in. We set aside one room, and the Hayden family would come over to our house one year. The next year we'd go over to the Hayden family house to go to school. That was back in the 30s.
Life on the Dyer farm in St. Paul brought little pay and long work hours, and many family members lived in cramped living conditions.
The farmers were nice to us. You know, we just didn't go beyond our bounds. You know, we just survived. We didn't have it good, but Grandma would can stuff, and they never wasted food. Never. You didn't know what it was to throw out food. Not then in those days. You just ate everything and kept everything, and you learned how to preserve. I used to help them kill hogs. You didn't sleep good. You mean no air, no nothing, you know, just a small house, and you had a little bunk bed or something. And Grandma had her beautiful garden, though. I can remember I would stand at these gates because there would be cattle in sections, and when they would cut corn or do wheat, I would have to make sure the cattle didn't get in a section. I'd just stand there all day and open these gates when the trucks come through. And it was hard, hot out there and everything, but I'd have to stand and make sure that the cattle didn't come out where they wasn't supposed to be.
Education was always a hurdle for Mary and other rural African Americans. St. Charles County had no integrated public schools when Mary grew up in the 1930s. They were forced to hold school in different homes. In fact, they named their school Star of the Prairie. Mary never missed a day of grade school, even if it meant walking miles in the snow to reach another farmhouse for school. Perseverance paid off, and Mary moved up to high school.
We had to leave the farm. We was on the Hayden Wise farm when we left near Old Monroe, and we moved to O'Fallon. Grandma and Grandpa built a 2-room house. My brother, sister, and I stayed in this house, and we caught a bus from O'Fallon to St. Charles to go to high school.
When Mary Stephenson lived in O'Fallon, she did housework for a white family before and after school. Her duties included getting the couple's 3 children ready and off to their classes each morning, and then doing housework in the afternoon.
You didn't make much money. I can remember the time I wouldn't have bus fare from St. Charles to O'Fallon because it wasn't enough money. Time I'd pay off a loan for Grandma and Grandpa building a house, I would not have bus fare from O'Fallon to St. Charles.
At Franklin School, she enjoyed home economics and helped to cook chili that the students could buy for 5 cents a cup. Now, one of her greatest regrets was that she wasn't able to go to college.
When they couldn't work on the farm, that was my grandparents. Instead of me going to college, I started working because they was not able to work, and I took care of them.
Segregation was still alive and well while Mary lived in O'Fallon in the late 1940s.
If you wanted something to eat, you'd have to go to the back door of a restaurant to get food. You couldn't go in the restaurant and eat. And it was not easy to grow up. It was, when you think about it, it makes you sad.
Despite the many challenges Mary faced in her early life, she went on to have a successful career at McDonnell Douglas and a prosperous family of 5. Mary was unable to go to college, but she made sure that her children took advantage of the opportunities that they were given.
I made all 5 of them go to college, and sometimes they were hesitant about it, but they went. And a couple of them got scholarships. So.
O'Fallon had a thriving African American past that we'll continue to celebrate each February now and into the future. And we honor Mary Stephenson's perseverance to seek out education in a time of segregation. It wasn't until 1954 that the Supreme Court ruled that segregation in schools was unconstitutional.
You feel hurt. You feel, why did life have to be that way? Why couldn't it be different? And you look at things now and you think, why people have such a better chance of doing more in life, and yet some of them don't want to do it.
Education is something that we can't take for granted. Mary Stephenson and other African Americans knew all too well the struggles of getting educated. Let us forever remember their struggles.